We spend our entire lives building massive dams, trying to control every aspect of our careers, our relationships, and our uncertain future. But resistance brings exhaustion. Kael believed that control was the only way to survive. He poured every ounce of his strength into holding back the relentless power of the river. Every day was a battle against nature. He thought that by standing firm, he could master the world around him. But the burden grew heavier. His wall was tall, but it was brittle. The internal pressure of the water sought any weakness, creating tiny fractures that threatened his entire life's work. The river did not care for his efforts. It simply flowed, a primal force of nature that grew more aggressive the more he tried to stop it. Suddenly, the sky darkened, and the waters rose. A surge of power hit the wall, and the vibration of impending doom shook the very ground below. In one terrifying moment, the dam collapsed. All the years of sweat and blood were washed away by the very force he sought to contain. The destruction was absolute. The river reclaimed its path, leaving nothing but ruin in its wake, proving that some things simply cannot be held back forever. Kael collapsed into the mire, surrounded by the remnants of his broken dreams. The weight of failure felt heavier than any stone he had ever moved. He was a man who had given everything and lost it all. The silence that followed the roar of the flood was the most painful sound. Control is a sweet but cruel illusion. When you try to hold the river with bare hands, it will always find a way to escape you. The tighter you squeeze, the more it hurts. Have you ever felt like you were swimming against the tide until you had no breath left in you? We are like these chains, stretched to the breaking point by our own expectations. We believe that if we just hold on harder, we will succeed. But our internal mechanisms are jamming. The friction of constant worry and the need for total oversight is wearing our very souls down to nothing. Kael looked at his dying fields. The water was right there, powerful and abundant, yet he had spent his life fighting it instead of using it. His hands were empty and broken. He realized that his strength was not enough to defeat the universe, but he knew no other way to live. The river didn't care about his struggle. It flowed with an ancient, effortless grace that Kael could only dream of possessing in his own weary life. Is it possible to stop fighting? Is there a way to exist where every moment isn't a battle for survival against the forces of destiny and change? In his deepest despair, Kael finally let go of his pride. He was ready to listen. If only the world had something left to tell him. As the dawn approached, the air changed. The harshness of the night faded into a soft, gray mist that signaled a new beginning was coming. From the veil of fog, a stranger appeared. He was not fighting the current. He was dancing with it, moving with a strange and quiet power. The old fisherman looked at Kael with eyes that had seen 1,000 floods. He didn't look tired. He looked like he belonged to the water. He watched Kael's broken dam with a gentle pity. He knew the burden of trying to stop the unstoppable, and he knew the secret to freedom. While Kael had spent years trying to move the rocks, the fisherman simply let the water take him around them, reaching his destination without any effort. Kael called out, asking how one could be so calm in such a dangerous current. The old man steered his raft toward the muddy riverbank. He walked up to Kael and sat down on a fallen log. "Water does not fight the rock," he said softly, his voice like the wind. "It simply flows around it. Why do you wish to stop the lifeblood of the valley when you could be part of its great journey?" Kael argued that he needed the water for his crops. He felt he had to trap it, or his life would dry up and blow away. The old man smiled. "Do you want to block the river to get water? Or do you want the river to bring the water to you?" The stick didn't fight. It surrendered to the flow, and in its surrender, it gained the entire speed of the river to reach the distant sea. "Don't build dams," the fisherman whispered. "Build water wheels. Let the energy of what you cannot change become the engine of your own success." The lesson was simple yet profound. Flowing with life isn't about giving up. It is about the ultimate form of intelligent and powerful adaptation. He realized that his greatest enemy was not the water, but his own resistance. He had been using his strength to block, not to build. Kael began to work again. But this time, there was no anger. He focused on the curves of the wood, shaping them to catch the flow. Each stroke was a conversation with the material. He was no longer trying to dominate. He was trying to cooperate with the laws of physics. The people who once saw him as a fool now helped him. His new approach was infectious, bringing a sense of hope to the entire community. As the water touched the wheel, the river's power was harnessed. The very force that had destroyed his dam was now working for him. The wheel turned with a steady, unstoppable force. It didn't fight the river. It allowed the river to pass through it, creating motion from flow. Water began to climb the bank, defying gravity through the simple genius of the wheel. The river was literally feeding the land with its strength. The parched soil drank deeply. For the first time in years, the fields felt the touch of life without the threat of a destructive flood. Life exploded across the valley. What was once a place of struggle became a sanctuary of abundance. All because one man decided to stop fighting. Instead of using his limited power to resist the universe, Kael used the infinite power of the universe to achieve his true purpose in this world. When you stop resisting, you gain access to a reservoir of energy you never knew existed. You become a conduit for the power of life. This is the secret of the flow. It is not about laziness or being passive. It is about the highest level of strategic and mental alignment. In our modern lives, we face rivers of data, pressure, and change. We can choose to be the dam that breaks or the wheel that turns. The surfer doesn't fight the wave. He uses its terrifying power to propel himself forward. He masters the ocean by surrendering to its incredible rhythm. We cannot control the wind, but we can always adjust our sails. Those who learn to harness the wind will reach horizons others only dream of. Nature teaches us that resistance is a waste of energy. Transformation is the only way to grow without burning out or losing our inner peace. As Kael grew old, he realized the greatest strength was not in his muscles, but in his ability to accept the reality of the present moment. The secret of the river is acceptance. Accepting that there are things we cannot change, and using that very energy to fuel our own personal growth. This is the golden framework for a powerful life. Accept the current, transform its energy, and grow beyond your previous limits through its constant power. When your mind is in flow, your actions become effortless. You stop chasing success and start allowing success to be drawn toward your natural state. Life is a river that never stops moving. You can spend your energy trying to hold it back, or you can join the great dance. Feel the current of your own life. What are you fighting today that you could instead learn to use for your own journey and your growth? Imagine a world where we all stopped building dams against each other and started building wheels that benefit everyone. The power would be truly infinite. The fisherman is always out there, somewhere on the water, reminding us that the path of least resistance is often the path of most power. Kael's legacy wasn't a wall that stood for a year. It was a system that worked with nature for 100 years after he was gone. Your direction is more important than your speed. When you flow, you are always heading exactly where you need to be at the right time. Connect your logic with your intuition. Let the river of your life guide you, and you will find that the universe is always on your side. Stop trying to control the uncontrollable. Open your hands, breathe in the fresh air, and let the beauty of the world carry you home tonight. Don't try to drive the river of life. Learn to sail upon it. It is a journey meant to be experienced, not a problem to be solved. Please leave a comment saying, "I am flowing with," and share your journey with us. We would love to hear how you are adapting today. Thank you for listening to The Secret of the River. May your journey be filled with the strength of the current and the peace of flow. Remember, the river is always moving, and you are always a part of it. Until next time, stay in the flow and find your power.